So I briefly want to mention before we continue on in this campaign, we are using a different version of EU4. Paradox just released a new version of the game, and that won't cause too much of a difference, I don't think, but I just wanted to definitely disclose that to you guys. I mean, actually, that shouldn't have an impact on the game at all, but I definitely wanted to let you guys know that I did manage to kind of... I know that some people had their save files... some people weren't able to save their previous campaigns in the previous 1.14 version going over to this new version of EU4. I was able to save this through... I guess they just suggested we went through incompatible saves, if you're wondering. I know that it's been about a week since this version's come out, but if you're wondering, yeah, I just went through incompatible saves. I saved a new version into the 1.15 version, and that's how I was able to recover this. But anyways, so right now there's only one war going on. Current wars. Oh, there's two. Okay, so never mind. So we have Portugal dominating the Moroccans to their south. 18 war score. The new war is Poland versus who? Okay, so Poland versus Russia. That's a big one. Russia's coming to, or I guess Germany's coming to the aid of Russia. Germany, this is probably not going to end too well for Germany or for Russia in that matter because, well, Venice is on their side. Of course, Venice helping out like they've been doing in Europe, helping out. Let's look at the visuals of this map. Wow. Okay. So this could be a big moment here, especially with the Swedes to the north, kind of almost going to pass, I think, the Russians up in colonization. We've seen this before in the previous EU4 Civ 5 edition, where I don't believe it was the Swedes, but it was somebody else that had, colonized faster out towards the east than the Russians. Maybe it was Persia or something like that, but we might see this. The Russians might be a little bit distracted. I don't remember the last time we've seen Russia get involved in a war like this, well, at least not with other Europeans. I know that the Russians have been involved in wars with the Huns. Not sure if they've gotten into a conflict with Byzantium just yet, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time if they haven't. Okay, so let's see what this is going to look like. Let's zoom in and see how we're doing here. So the Russians might have a distinct advantage over Poland, but when the Venetians get here, I don't know. Here's the thing, though. Venice will probably not get military access through either Austria or Greece. They could try to go through Venice. Actually, it doesn't matter, because if the Russians... the Russians are liked by Greece, and vice versa, somewhat. Obviously, if Russia has military access through Greece, that's going to give Venice, the enemy in this war, military access as well. But if the Russians only have to fight Poland, then they might be somewhat successful here, but maybe not. Oh, maybe I'm smoking crack. Well, actually, no, a lot of the Danish forces have now come down from the north to reinforce. This will not be too good. Let's not disregard Germany, though. I know that Germany is small, but they still have something here. It might be, it might be a small regiment, but it's still going to distract the other AIs in this coalition, or I guess on this... Okay, well, I guess there goes the German army, so it doesn't even matter. Never mind, I'm just gonna stop talking. Drew, shut up. Just you don't know what you're talking about. So bam, their whole military is gone. It distracted the Danish this Danish regiment for a little bit, so that's good. And Germany's rebuilding their forces. They're rebuilding quite fast, while I believe the Danish go after Berlin, the capital of Germany. And how are we doing here? The Russians might win a very crucial battle. They absolutely need to win this. They went in for the offensive attack without any sort of offensive penalties, which is good. No crossing penalty, no terrain penalty. It's just general versus and the numbers. So they won that. They really needed to. Oh, but they're not going to win this one. Denmark has come and reinforced. Now, luckily, again, the Venetians have not arrived on this front. And you know what would have been interesting? Well, actually, it wouldn't have been interesting if the Russians had just one province over in this region. Actually, wait a second. I think Venice is going to go up on boats. They're going to go to the Black Sea. And where's my opinion map mode? Why can I not select Venice? There we go. I have to do it like that. See, I know what Venice is going to do. They're going to load them up, go to the Black Sea. They're going to use the military access that they probably have through Byzantium to arrive in the Russian front. I think that's what they're going to do, more than likely. Because I just saw a lot of troops moving to the south of the Italian peninsula. Maybe not. I mean, they're all along coastal provinces, but I mean, let's be real here. I mean, obviously, everything in the Italian peninsula is a coastal province, almost everything, except when you get to the north. But maybe that's not what they're going to do. Maybe Venice doesn't care as much. But for sure, Germany is about to be out of this war, which is going to definitely give the Polish, Danish, and Venetian alliance a major upper hand. And if Russia doesn't do anything about this, their friend Germany is going to be out of the war. And, well, I mean, I don't really know exactly if Russia's going to be able to hold everybody out, the Polish out as they continue to attack from the west. Yep, they're going to lose this battle, but reinforcements are coming if they can make it there in time. They didn't make it there in time, but they're gonna win the second battle. However, Denmark's going to reinforce from the south. So who will win this one? Obviously, the Russians have a little bit lower morale, but they have the number advantage, and more smaller regiments are going to come in to reinforce. Bam! Well, there you go. Russia pushed both of their enemies in like 3 separate battles out of their territory. Good for them. But I don't think it's going to last for very much longer. Again, Denmark still going hard in the paints. Would that be... I should use that phrase more often, shouldn't I? Not really. I know you guys are probably like screaming now, don't use that phrase ever again. But it makes sense, right? Because, you know, like the borders are kind of like paint. Anyways, Denmark is entered it. I think now this is bad. Yeah, this is pretty much the end. Germany really doesn't have much left unoccupied, so they won't be able to build that many regiments. I mean, they will, but it's going to be only minor, and they probably don't have much manpower left. I think the Russians have really lost too many battles, and they probably lost too much manpower at this point to take on both Poland and Denmark at the same time. As Denmark comes and reinforces, yep. Well, the Russians are going to reinforce, but no, never mind. They realize, no, I'm going to lose that. I might as well not even try. So this was a war that Poland declared for, I believe, a single province. This was just a... Yes, it was. They wanted Minsk. Okay. They've got 38 war score. Yeah, that's pretty defining victory for the Polish. So anyways, we've got some more wars going on. We got Persia versus who? Babylon and the Ottomans. Let's go ahead and check on that. So clearly this will be another, I think, big win for Persia. Something that they don't really desperately need. But if they can grab more of these provinces along the Persian Gulf, that would be really crucial. That way, kind of locking off the Assyrians from maybe doing some colonization and getting across the Persian Gulf, because that way they can, you know, if they get across the Persian Gulf, they can colonize more to the southern part of Persia, and they'd have more fronts with the Persian AI. This was a war for Babylon. The Ottomans just decided to join in. The Ottomans obviously won't be contributing much here in the Caucasus Mountains, and I don't believe they have much of a military left anymore. So we also have the Mayans versus the Shoshone. Whoa! Okay. I didn't even realize that they have a border now. We'll have to watch this. Remember, the Mayans have completely destroyed the Aztecs. This is one of the first New World... I think, is this the first New World War? It almost is, because the Inca and the Brazilians haven't really... I mean, besides the Mayans and the Aztec, that was like... I guess the first war was a pretty interesting one, but at this point, there had really been no interesting wars, I guess, in the New World after the Mayans had taken down the Aztecs in that first conflict. Because after that, it was just the Aztecs were down to, you know, 4 provinces, 3 provinces, and then they got destroyed. But I think the Mayans are going to have a lot of success here. The Shoshone only have about, 10,000 troops? Yeah, so that's not going to be too... That won't be too good for them. Wow, they're even... I thought that was a regiment. I was like, they're keeping a 37 stack back behind. No, they're fine. So they're going to dominate the Shoshone, and I think we have a very distinct... great power here in Central America. The final war is China versus Korea. That was quick. They are probably going to eliminate Korea. That is, the Chinese are probably going to eliminate the Koreans, at least off of the Korean peninsula. I mean, the Koreans will survive more than likely. With the territory up north, I think they'll end up surviving. I think for a long time, but we'll see. And but I don't know how long the Japanese will survive if they stay on this island. They have got to colonize, which it looks like they might be soon here with these islands. They need to move up north because the Chinese will probably be more colonizing to the south. But then the Indonesians need to be worried. So the Chinese seem to be kind of that exponential power. If the Chinese can hold on to their power, excuse me, oh my gosh, if they can, just make sure nothing disastrous happens, by the end of the campaign, the Chinese will be really, really powerful, really strong. But for now, they need to be worried about the Europeans because the Europeans have a distinct advantage, I would say. I would say they do. Right now, obviously, there's no real reason for any of the Europeans or the Middle Eastern nations to get involved with the Chinese just yet. But it depends. It depends. It depends on a lot of things. We'll have to keep that in mind. Let's also check on the results of the Moroccan-Portuguese War. Yeah, really nothing happened. It didn't seem like anything major happened. And the Portuguese are continuing to colonize. I think that we've talked about the Portuguese settlements along Western Africa, as well as I believe they just grabbed an island. Yep, Cameroon. Is this? Yes, that's their white. That's not the shade of wasteland or uncolonized territory. Yep. So there they go. Anything else? Oh, and we do have them in Latin America. Good. That's what I was waiting for. I was like, Latin America is completely open to colonization. I'm surprised that actually Morocco isn't more over here. But Portugal might be really strong because they're the only ones that are really colonizing. Besides the Celts, which the Celts have formed Canada, a modded Civ technically in Civ 5. I've played many campaigns, or at least watched many battles with the modded Canadian Civ. So we'll see how they do in this game. That might be very interesting, actually. Okay, so what's going on here? Looks like Sweden and the Netherlands, somebody pieced out. That was probably the Chinese and the Koreans. Yep, they did. Wait a second, another war pieced out. The Assyrians and the Persians. Ooh, oh, that's a big one. While Persia were fighting, minor civs, minor nations, Babylon and the Ottomans, the Assyrians decided to really use this to their advantage. This is a really big moment for the Middle East, because obviously I think most people would give the title for the strongest nation to Persia. But if Syria can really do a lot of damage here, which it looks like they might be able to, they're going to have a lot of success. They need to cut the Persians off. They need to get a coastal province along the Caspian Sea. That'd be a big one. Or just something. They need to take away more power from Persia for sure. Poland is not pieced out with the Russians just yet. Let's go ahead and see the results of China. Oh, and the Mayans have pieced out too. We have to keep that in mind. Sweden and the Netherlands, so also joining in against Russia. Again, this is, like I said, I began this video saying that I immediately thought, okay, Russia and Poland are at war, but what's going to happen to Sweden? Because I think Sweden would be the bigger beneficiary of Russia losing, even if they're not involved in the war. So we'll see what happens, especially now that Sweden is involved with the war in Russia. They might be able to do a lot. Although, look at this, Great Britain colonizing. They might be taking over the place of moving towards Siberia as like a modern-day Russia or something like that. Okay, so the Mayans took away quite a few provinces, but not that much. The Shoshone are okay, but the Mayans are going to be really, really powerful, clearly, I think, in Central America, depending on what happens with America and the Iroquois. The USA, I guess I should say, and the Iroquois. Wait a second, I didn't check on what happened with China. Yep, just what we thought. Korea's still alive. They just got kicked off the Korean Peninsula, so no big deal there. No big deal there. And Japan has a truce, luckily for now, with China, so they won't have to worry about being eliminated from the game, at least for another 6 years. How's Polynesia doing? Polynesia's doing their thing. They're doing their thing. That's all I can say. Okay, so this is the big one that I really want to keep an eye on. I want to keep an eye on Russia, obviously, but I really want to watch what happens to Persia. Okay, so they just pieced out with Babylon, and they ended up taking provinces both away. 2 provinces from the Ottomans in the north, and about 3, I believe, was this former Babylonian? Yes, it was. And 3 from Babylon to the south. Again, grabbing the Persian Gulf coastal provinces, which is something that's really crucial for Persia. But will they be able to survive now the onslaught from the Assyrians in the west? It looks like they actually will. Maybe the Assyrian AI was hoping for a continued war with Babylon and the Ottomans against Persia. Maybe they weren't anticipating that Persia would just peace out, and Babylon would just give them things that they wanted. So this might still lead to a distinct advantage for Persia. Even though Assyria tried to capitalize as best they could, it seems like they have the numbers advantage. Does Assyria have any friends? They do, but I'm sure Venice, it's too late to call in Venice, and Venice probably won't even contribute much. Venice, I don't think, has done anything to fight the Russians at all. Oh, so Poland had peaced out. Oh, I didn't even realize this. Holy crap. Yeah, Poland took a whole bunch away. How much is this? How much did they take away? Dang. Yeah, they really took away a lot. What happened to Germany? And even Germany... No, Germany lost a little bit, I think. Yeah, Germany lost these 3 provinces. I think in that war. Germany's lost a lot of provinces, but I believe in that last one, they only lost like a few along their eastern side. Did Denmark take anything? No, I don't think they did. So Germany remains alive, but just barely. And I don't know for how much longer. So Poland might be an interesting force here in Eastern Europe. They might be very interesting. especially with their alliances, of course, with Venice. That's a big one. We'll see how much Sweden takes away. So I think, obviously, Sweden will have a lot of success here. Or maybe not. Well, the Netherlands are actually fighting more than the Swedes are, aren't they? Well, there's a pretty big force here in northeast Russian territory. Interesting that Sweden and the Netherlands are allied still. Remember that personal union in video 2? I don't know. I have figured, I guess they're still friendly. They liked that. Sweden no longer allied to England. They were. They had a royal marriage before, but no longer anymore. Are there any more wars going on? We've got a Venetian war against Greece. Poland now returning the favor after the Venetians really helped out. Well, not really. They're not really returning the favor in terms of help. And then the Assyrians are losing their war really badly against the Persians. Yeah, because the Venetians never really helped out with the Russian war, but I guess Poland will be able to do a lot more helping when it comes to Greece since they have a front with Greece. But maybe they'll take some provinces for themselves. Even though I'm sure the Polish are dealing with some pretty bad overextension at the moment. Maybe they won't. It depends. We'll see if they decide to occupy this for themselves. It looks like they gave that to Venice. Yep, they did. And so Greece is going to be kind of screwed here. Yeah, especially if Venice continues to grab more provinces. Man, Venice is going to be strong. Venice is going to be really strong, which is funny because in Civ 5, they really aren't that powerful because of, reasons of their unique ability, and they can't, settle cities. They have to take over city-states. Again, I definitely want to return to this format if you guys like to do it. I like to, if you know something about this channel, I like to kind of alternate series. So like I have like single-player Civ 5 campaigns. I have like EU4 AI-only campaigns, stuff like that. I don't like to do the same sort of, series back to back to back. Like I like to put, I kind of want to put a campaign like this where we do like a custom nations AI only in EU4, and then I put a present day, then a present day one. Damn, Greece lost a lot. I'm sorry, not a present day, an extended eras mod campaign, and then we go back to forth, and we alternate. Same thing with what I did with the Stalin series. I did TSL England. I wanted to put a little break in between that, so I did Soviet Union. I'm doing Soviet Union now. Then I'll go back to the TSL. So, if I would like to return to this after, again, we go back to the extended eras mod and we play another timeline within that. But I do want to go more intricate into maybe some of the Civ 5 unique abilities. Or, a lot of people are suggesting all sorts of different things. I believe a lot of people have been letting me know that the custom nations limit is now 70 nations. I mean, I could put a whole bunch of different countries in. I mean, really, for EU4, the different campaigns that I can do in terms of AI onlys are really unlimited. I mean, there's so many drastic ideas that so many people are suggesting that I do. I can't wait. And it's funny because in the beginning with the EU4, I really thought that EU4 was kind of limited in the amount of AI onlys that I would be able to do. Within, like that was just kind of my thought process while trying out the first AI only in EU4. But now that I've, been through a few campaigns and I've really got to experience the mechanics and a lot of it has to do with a lot of your guys' suggestions in the comment section. I've really now come to realize that, I think there's even more possibilities than in Civ 5. And that's kind of surprising, I know, because Civ 5 is like an unlimited amount of possibilities, whether it's a TSL or whether it's with mods or whether it's just like in a random new world or whatever. There's just so much to do. I mean, look at EU4. We could do a random new world, technically a random new world in this location here, and that would be pretty fun. That'd be very fun, I think. But anyways, that was just my little long ramble about. I'm just very excited for the future of EU4 AI onlys. There's just so many different possibilities. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.